Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Nemesis Gaming League, where the play-in comes to an end. We are at our final match of the play-in here. Joining me in the booth is the one and only Ventus. Ventus, man, how are you doing? Are you ready to see Galaxy versus Distortion, our final matchup, and of course in the best league, the Rival League?
You know, I've seen a lot of crazy matches tonight. I've seen the 10 seed win every single time. I wonder if the 10 seed will continue and be able to use that momentum that they won in that first play-in match and bring it to their second one, because obviously Galaxy lost their first play-in match and dropped down, and Distortion won their first play-in match. So it's a lot of like momentum versus like needing to bounce back. And I mean, it seems so far momentum is king. I mean, unfortunately for a lot of these teams, not saying Galaxy is not going to be able to win. I know you absolutely hope iTrots is able to make the playoffs, but it just seems to be the trend this way, and maybe that's just how the script works.
Yeah, I hate to say it, I'm actually not. I don't want him to make playoffs. He can't play me anymore because, let's be honest here, Ventus. There is a huge, giant elephant in the room, and that's that team that they're gonna play. Doesn't matter who wins this one. It's about who they play next, and the next team that they play is the 18-0 Gravelords, so it's gonna be a tough one. Whoever wins the series, but hey, that's for future them to worry about. Right now, they gotta worry about the opponent in front of them. And man, we got some good players on this team of Distortion. This Distortion team is good. Sprinkle, Kaysen, and Arc B Ball 22. This is, in my opinion, a very underrated roster. Maybe they finally got things working. Sprinkle suffered earlier in the season here, Ventus, but so far in this play-ins, he's been cooking. And gets a nice pass here over to Kaysen. And Kaysen, on a different team other than the Bearcats, doesn't look right, but he feels right at home here with Sprinkle.
I know this always happens to Kaysen specifically. I know him very well. I know he kind of slacks off a little bit during the regular season. He stops playing the game as much, but then when the regular season comes to an end, he starts playing the game more. I've seen him on the game every single day this past week, and I know he's been putting in that time. So I'm hoping that translates into their series tonight, because I think that they are going to need it, with a great pass there from DJD, and iTrots absolutely slamming that one into the back of the net, getting the beat on Kaysen as well, who I was just talking about. Really close to making the save, but I mean, perfectly placed in the corner. Galaxy Distortion, it's going to be a very close match.
Yeah, it's going to be a close one all the way through. I'm going to go ahead and take Distortion in a sweep because it's going to be that close. I do think Galaxy will win a couple games, but I just don't see it happening. I think it's going to happen, and then I'm like, how are they going to score? And this is how they score, apparently. I don't know what Distortion's doing, but hey, Galaxy's going to take this one for free. iTrots is going to take the assist. DJD going to put that one in the back of the net. Just bad touch there from Sprinkle. Backwards on the backboard. Somebody stop Sprinkle from twerking on the backboard, please, as Galaxy going to go ahead and go up 2-1 here.
Yeah, and I might not fully agree that it's going to be a sweep. I kind of am biased, and I really am hoping Kaysen's able to make the playoffs once again after playing with him for multiple seasons previously. And so I might be biased and say Distortion is going to take this one, but I do think it's going to be a very close series. I think that Galaxy is going to make them work. They're going to push to a Game 5, and it might be crazy, but I think we are bound to see not only a couple overtimes, but I could see a Game 5 overtime in our midst.
Yeah, but it's going to be tough. This Galaxy defense does like to lock in, especially Dalen as that third man. A lot of the times, he is the one saving a lot of these balls, but it's going to be DJD and iTrots so far on the offense. Dalen trying to get going there. As now it's going to be Arc B-Ball getting the 50. Kaysen bangs that one off the backboard. DJD able to get the touch. Sprinkle, he's in the air. Getting a nice touch way up high. iTrots able to meet him. Arc B-Ball now. A little bit of time. Bangs that one towards Kaysen, but DJD had that ball red. Had barely enough boost to get it as well. iTrots looking for the counter attack. No boost to work with, so it's going to be Dalen putting that ball mid. Arc B-Ball now. A lot of control. No flip coming through. No demo either. Just pops that ball. Maybe DJD's going to get the beat though. Sprinkle was also up for it. Or going to go for this one once again. Off the ceiling. Able to get a touch pass one. Maybe looking for the double. Dalen has that ball way up high. No follow-up touch. Casey going to drop that ball down. Sprinkle a little too far back for that pass. Galaxy, it feels like, has kind of settled into their defense. They look very solid, and it feels like a lot of these distortion touches, they're not being able to be followed up by one another. There seems to be, I don't know if it's miscommunication, but it's going to be almost an open net. DJD avoided the bump from Kaysen, but that right there, maybe a pass from Sprinkle to Arc would have been better. You know what I'm saying? It just feels like Distortion not working together as a team nearly as well as Galaxy is.
Yeah, I was gonna touch on that perfectly. I mean, that's a great passage. Maybe we'll just bite our own tongues there and just take that one on the chin as we cast a curse very poorly there. But I think that Distortion has kind of forced a lot of not great shot opportunities. I think that they have kind of put on a couple really weak shots just to get the ball on target. We see that they already have 7 shots, but really none of them have been that threatening. That pass from Sprinkle to gain that last shot there was absolutely beautiful as well, because he got around that last defender.
Oh.
And a Phil's backflip completely undoes all of that, as Kaysen not able to get that touch is pretty unfortunate. Obviously looking and kind of backflipping, definitely should have had that one. Maybe the nerves, but Kaysen's been in the playoffs time and time again. He's a Nemesis veteran, so I shouldn't really expect the nerves to really get to him in this. But yeah, I mean, Distortion really kind of forcing shots early on. I'm hoping that they're going to be able to look to find each other later into the series, but it seems like for now they're just fine with testing the net, kind of adding on more pressure and trying to just steal some boost. And Galaxy's perfectly okay with playing that same exact way. They're waiting to just play defense, get the clear, take the saves on the free easy shots and turn it into counterattacks. And it's worked out pretty well for them, as we almost saw another counterattack happen off that demo on Sprinkle in the midfield.
Yeah, and it's been DJD getting a lot of these good midfield touches, and they're always over towards his teammate, Trotz, in the midfield every time. As Dalen doesn't get a touch there, DJD did not want to commit to Trotz. Last man back, has to save the shot from Sprinkle, and he does so beautifully off his own backboard, though, as that shot from Kaysen going to go wide. Sprinkle looking for the follow-up challenge as DJD going to get dunked out. That ball now looking for Arc towards the midfield, towards Kaysen. Kaysen a little too close, and Arc's pass just not on the mark. Dalen now with a flick over one, but Sprinkle's going to be there. A great 50 there from Dalen, though. Maybe looking for one more touch as DJD going to be on top of that one. That ball, though, going to be missed by Kaysen. Arc has to get a pop way up high. Has some boost to follow it. Trotz with 0 boost, just kind of floating there. Able to get the 50, but Kaysen able to get the ball cleared. Less than a minute remaining here. Dalen's touch, not a great one. Sprinkle tries to continue the pressure, but it's going to be Trotz getting a nice clear here. Maybe a follow-up touch as well. 0 boost, but Sprinkle has to get a long clear himself. Double touch coming through from Sprinkle here as DJD gets beat out on that one. That ball off the backboard. Sprinkle looking for the demo on Trotz. Kaysen has a shooting opportunity. Puts that ball lofted on net. DJD saved, not a great one, but Dalen able to get up there and get the follow-up 50. This Galaxy team following each other's touches very well, especially on the defensive end. Now Kaysen looking for a pass. Arc going to leave that one for Sprinkle. Sprinkle off the corner. Dalen able to get the touch. Kaysen now gets dunked out by Dalen once again. Huge play there from Dalen, who has been on the defensive end basically this whole time. It has been not him. It is the DDD and Trotz on the offensive side. Dalen, the defensive man, once again making a great save there. Sprinkle shot. He waits for the bounce. If he kept that one alive, had an opportunity at it, but instead, Galaxy going to take game 1 here. Ruined my prediction, but Galaxy, they're going to take that one, in good faith. They had a lot of good opportunities, I think, off the back of really good passes from DJD in the midfield. Dalen on the defensive end as well, but Distortion, just too many little mistakes, it felt like.
Yeah, and I think Galaxy just did really well to cut off a lot of the passes when they went for them in the midfield. It seems like Dalen was always there, DJD was always there, making cuts in the rotation, playing kind of that midfield force and allowing them to get free saves or pushing shots to be not as good as they should be or could be from this Distortion squad. And overall, just playing really well off each other. I know you talked about it a little bit earlier. And they're just able to follow up. You talked about how DJD was getting cuts in the midfield, and it seemed to be going to his teammates as well, allowing quicker counterattacks, more possession collection from this Galaxy squad. And it seems like they're just playing a very conservative Rocket League. They're allowing Distortion to basically be in their half for a majority of the time, but it's not like they're ever threatened. They're playing very composed and very together. They're playing good forces for each other. As you saw, a good force from DJD there to force the touch out so that Dalen could get the follow-up and get a beat to keep it in Distortion's half. And that's been the tale of this Galaxy team. They look very different from what we saw from them in the previous matchup that they lost in the play-ins. And, you know, they look a lot more dangerous.
Yeah, look a lot more composed, as I've been disconnected from the game, but I'll be right back, so don't worry about it. But so far, like you said, I feel like this Galaxy team has been a lot more together and a lot more combined, like especially in the offensive end. It used to be I felt like Trots had to make a great solo play or an insane 50 had to come out from DJD, but this time it looks like they're finding each other a lot better, as now DJD looking for the counterattack as Sprinkle with a nice 50 there. Arc is going to be up. Arc with a great 50. Kaysen, he's going to be up. But Dalen from the top ropes had a flip reset off that one. And Sprinkle once again looking for an opportunity. That ball bouncing straight down, but DJD taking a great 50. Arc rushing in. Trots able to make the save. Can he get the follow? No. Sprinkle going to be there. Zero boost to work with though, so DJD gets it right past him. Kaysen, a lot of boost, a lot of time. Bangs that one high. Trots getting that save off his own backward. Arc ball gonna be there for pass down to Sprinkle, and I think Trots became a little parking meter there for Dalen, and Dalen just could not get out of, Trots could not get out of Dalen's way.
Yeah, and I mean, not a great touch by Trots. Very low boost, though. I mean, you have to basically be perfect with that. Dalen obviously kind of bumping Trots. And, I mean, a great pass there from Arc B-Ball to Sprinkle. Good follow-up. They finally were able to break down the defense, and it really came from just a mistouch from Galaxy. I won't say Distortion didn't earn that goal, but it was definitely off of a couple mistakes there from Galaxy, specifically iTrots. Not that I want to, you know, mess with him more than he deserves. But iTrots, you know, the miss to the backboard and then kind of falling into the midfield, get kind of forcing his way into the middle of his teammate. Dalen definitely could have avoided him, but even still a good pass, but doesn't matter. iTrot's completely redeeming himself. A great touch double off the ceiling, and he's going to put them back tied 1-1 with about half the game left to go.
Man, that is just the best goal explosion, shot I have ever seen coming out of Trots. No, but seriously, Trots with a great shot there, off the ceiling, into the double. This man wants to play Gravelords. He wanted to play me in the first round, but heck, he wants to ruin the perfect season for Gravelords, and somebody's got to do it. And I have a feeling this Galaxy team, I just wanted enough. They played just weird enough where I could see it happening. Sprinkle, though, over to Kaysen. The team play is so clean there that time. Not going to go in, but it's going to be Arc B-Ball getting that pass received from Kaysen. Kaysen getting a little bump into Arc B-Ball. DJD doesn't know what's going on, but he says, I'll take the clear. I'll take the pass mid. Jalen says, I'll take the shot. No, it's a pass. One more. Trots put it away. I'm a liar. Trots couldn't hit the broadside of the barn on that one as the post rings true. Dalen now, no touch coming through. DJD, zero boost to work with, still able to make the save. 1-1 here. Arc with a nice touch, but it's going to be Dalen taking control. Dalen getting a beat around one, getting a beat around another. Nice control here. Sprinkle. He's in no man's land, but he gets the save. Epic save. DJD shot. And it could go anywhere, but right there. But Sprinkle says thank you very much. Dalen up in the air. Only one up. Looking for the double down mid. Kaysen and Sprinkle double commit. Not the best touch, but Arc B-Ball is going to be the only one up in the air. DJD able to make the save. Towards his own corner. Doesn't grab the 100, but still has plenty of boost to work with. Maybe one more touch. No, Kaysen's going to be in the midfield. Arc B-Ball going to get in the 50 as well. Sprinkle going to read that fake. Sprinkle looking for the double. The double not going to come through. And now Kaysen looking for the follow. Not going to get it past Trots. And the defense once again coming through here. Trots 50 not going to be great, and Ventus with a minute remaining. It seems like both these teams have had opportunities, but the defense, there's always one or two players back ready for the shot every time. So I don't know who's going to break through, but it looks like we might have that overtime that you were talking about earlier.
Yeah, I think that Distortion, once again, they're still forcing a lot of shots that don't have the best outcomes. I think it's really come down to Kaysen. I feel like he hasn't really been as threatening as I wanted him to be coming into this postseason. I think that he is a phenomenal player and very mechanical when he wants to be, but he hasn't really shown any of those solo plays, any of those mechanics that he's very good at. And he's kind of just playing speed and trying to play beats on ball and just bang the ball away. It hasn't really worked out for him. It might need a kind of like code switch where he needs to talk with his team and understand to take more possession, but that was almost a great play there. And clock ticking down with the last 5 seconds. It looks like we are going to have this overtime unless something drastic happens. The pass from iTrots, the shot from DJD is actually going to be a fake, and the ball drops. We have my coveted overtime, game number 2, much anticipated. And I mean, I hope it's a good one. As I say that, okay. I thought we were gonna have a really short one, but it looks like we survived the kickoff.
Yeah, survived the kickoff. You know, survived the first attack as well. So looks like maybe a long overtime in store. I don't know. We'll have to see as a demo did come out, but it's gonna be DJG's awkward touch. Is gonna be a sprinkle on a wide open net, and Distortion are gonna take that one for all it's worth, and it's worth a whole game here, as DJG's touch is not what he was looking for. I think Trots thought maybe it was a backflip. Maybe there was a better touch coming out towards the midfield. Trots turned upfield, but Distortion gonna say thank you very much, and we'll take that one to tied series 1-1 here, Ventus. And it's that 10 seed, man. They're always hunting. They're always lurking. It's been the 7 versus 10 seed, and I just realized that it's been 7 versus 10 seed every single time today. 10 seed has won every single time today. It's gonna happen again, but it's just a matter of time. Galaxy, though, they performed well, and I think they had honestly a pretty solid showing. I just think they weren't nearly as threatening with their infield passes this time.
Yeah, honestly, if you take this game and told me that Galaxy was the better team, I would believe you. I didn't think that Distortion did anything great in particular. I feel like they had a lot of double commits. They were playing very sloppy, especially on offense. Well, especially on defense, but they made a lot of mistakes on offense, allowing free saves to come out, free clears to come out. And, I mean, they were just able to steal the game away off of that big mistake from DJD. So, overall, I mean, I think that Galaxy played very well. That one crucial mistake in the overtime definitely did not do well. And then the other goal that they gave up was that mistouch from Trots onto the backboard that allowed a free passing play to come out. So, overall, I mean, I think that Galaxy as a whole played very clean, except they had those 2 massive mistakes. So, if they can just cut down a little bit on those, maybe make them not as glaring. But as I say that, Dalen, a little bit of a missed touch there. Not really able to connect to the ball, and that might be dangerous. It's a great skim from Kaysen. Beautiful play there from the guy as Kaysen, I mean, puts them ahead 1-0, and that is definitely an earned goal for Distortion.
That's what I like to see. You know, Kaysen, I feel like has been downfield a lot, trying to make a lot of plays happen, just not quite able to. Finally, a touch there from Arc, able to set him up just perfectly for that skim. As Sprinkle with a nice touch off his own backboard, but it's gonna be Dalen trying to put a powerful shot on. That one's gonna hit off his own off the backboard, off of Arc's save, and Kaysen's gonna have a long clear for Sprinkle. Sprinkle with one extra touch. Maybe looking for the follow-up pop, and it's just in. The counterattack from Distortion this time was just absolutely perfect. Sprinkle with just 2 great touches here on basically 0 boost.
Yeah, I mean, he basically did it all on his own. I mean, he got 2 great beats. He put Distortion on his back there. Distortion looked a little bit panicky. I mean, there were 2 triple commits in a row from Distortion, but luckily for them, there was no follow-up from Galaxy. They didn't have the resources. They didn't have the... they didn't hold space enough, even though there was so much players from this Distortion roster in their own net, and they're troubling and tripling and panicking. They weren't really playing very aggressive. They weren't forcing and taking boost and making sure and getting bumps, like, to ensure that they could stay up and not have to worry about any counterattack, and it allowed Distortion to break out. It allowed them to maintain possession, and Sprinkle did the most with it. Is, you know, he's been able to get a lot of these clears, a lot of these plays, and be kind of the guy. But as I say that, a shot attempt coming out from Trots trying to be the guy as well. But Distortion, a lot better of a series so far. Even though they were able to take game number 2, I didn't know if they necessarily earned it. But they are definitely proving me otherwise here in game number 3.
Game number 3 has been all Distortion. It feels like every touch, it feels like it's just a better touch for them. And like Galaxy just not able to get the touch that they want, it feels like. Arc Ball with a nice touch there. DJD able to get the beat on him, but no boost left to work with Kaysen with 1 follow. But it's going to be now a pass back over to Sprinkle. Sprinkle towards the corner. DJD with 1 touch, and Sprinkle getting the follow-up, but Arc is going to be in the corner. Playing the 50, Dalen wins that 50 out, though. Wins that 50 on Kaysen as well, trying to play a little bit of control, but the pinch is going to be perfect. That ball bouncing way up high. Arc B-ball, not a lot of boost to work with, still can put a shot on target. That one in the bottom right corner where DJD was waiting. Sprinkle, one touch. Casey's going to get the follow. Casey towards the backboard. Casey's double, not going to be there. Sprinkle puts it away. The 1, the 2, the 3, and the 4th touch finally puts that one away. Sprinkle getting the goal, Casey getting the assist, but man, it's just a 1-2 passing play there, and that's beautiful to watch.
Yeah, absolutely picking apart the defense. A great play, and I talked about wanting Kaysen to step up. He had that great shot earlier in this game. He had another great pass as well to Sprinkle. Definitely stepped up on the offensive side of the ball. Obviously, Distortion still a little bit lackluster on defense, still panicking and double committing frequently. But if they're able to generate a lot better offense, their quality of offense is much better as well. This Distortion team becomes that much more dangerous, and Galaxy has been kind of just holding on. They haven't really had many long periods of offense onto the Distortion field, but man, Kaysen already still kind of picking up where he left off. Not a great touch, a miss from Dalen, an open net. He's able to get in a freebie, and man, Galaxy not looking too hot right now. They've started to make more and more mistakes. We saw the 2 that were the reason Distortion won in game number 2, and now they're just making more and more. It seems like it's starting to have a slide effect where they're just spiraling out of control, and this might be the end for Galaxy. But maybe I should just stop talking.
Yeah, sometimes Vintage shutting up is just good, like he just a really great caster cursing time. I feel like that's what we are best at, is caster cursing. As Ventus, that time it's going to be all you. That's the only reason that Galaxy scored that one. So maybe you make a couple more of those. We'll see a comeback here of epic proportions. But it's going to have to start with Arc B-ball missing this shot. Oh, and it's just ringing off the crossbar there. Casey looking for the follow, then flip reset double coming through. I don't know if he got the flip reset or not. I was on just Trust Cam for some reason. He's my favorite player of all time, apparently. But Kaysen, man, he did get the reset, but he was going for it. It's just a great double touchdown for Kaysen, and a 5-1 lead here. An absolute dominant performance from Distortion after kind of a battle. It felt like for these past 2 games, Distortion showing why that I think they're just the more talented roster.
Yeah, I could definitely agree with they have a higher ceiling, and it's really up to Galaxy just to play more as a team. We talked about how they were so able to play off of each other, and they made good challenges for each other. They didn't really make many mistakes. They held on defense in game number 1, and it's kind of gone by the wayside as they've kind of just started to double commit, started to panic. Their touches aren't nearly as clean or as good, and it's just allowing Distortion to shine. And when your team that's supposed to have a high floor isn't having a high floor, and it's really dangerous, and that's what Galaxy really needs to regain their form of game 1. Otherwise, Distortion is just going to run away with this game, and I'm hoping this is my caster curse moment, that it's going to Galaxy was going to score for my caster curse, but man, Distortion they just look too good right now.
Yeah, they are just popping off on all cylinders, it feels like. And a great touch there from Sprinkle down to Kaysen. Kaysen touch, going off the backboard, couldn't get the follow. Arch touch, not going to be what he was looking for either. But no real punishment, it feels like, coming out from this Galaxy team. And just going into this last game. Going into this game 4, it's going to be tough to see Galaxy pulling it away. Obviously, a good shot there from Dalen, an epic save coming out from Arch. But at the same time, this is how it was against Lightspeed, like almost the exact same game script. They won game 1, and I wouldn't say dominant fashion. I think Galaxy's Lightspeed and Galaxy was back and forth in their series, and then Galaxy lost game 2 in a close one. Then they lost game 3 in a tough one, and a very ugly one. And then they won game 4 and then lost game 5. I'm not saying the script is already written, it's already been read, and it's already been shown. But if this game 4 goes how I think it's going to go, let's just say somebody needs to do some investigation.
We might have replicated the script for these 2 matches. That's on management. I won't say what if we tweaked anything at the end of the script, but you'll just have to wait and see. But yeah, Forbidden Temple, anything can happen. Galaxy obviously looking to come back and make some changes, and be a little bit more cohesive as a unit. Obviously, Distortion looking to just continue what they were doing. They started to make some really good passes, specifically from Sprinkle to Kaysen, and it allowed a lot of space for Kaysen to actually like utilize on and off the ball, able to get some great double taps, great plays, a double tap back to Sprinkle as well. And it seems like they seem to have found their cohesion between those two, and we'll see if Arc B-Ball can kind of join them, or if he just is going to sit back as that third man and just let Sprinkle and Kaysen do the heavy lifting, because it seems like those two on offense have been the difference makers so far in the series.
Yeah, and on the other side, Trots is who you're looking to really step up, as well as DJD, as Arc B-Ball's touching to go over Sprinkle's head, able to get another touch on it, though. No follow double touch, though, as Danglin's going to get a nice touch and a demo. Sprinkle has to play that to his own corner. Arc B-Ball, a little bit of time. Here gets a nice fake on Trots, trying to get a good 50 on DJD, not able to get the follow. Sprinkle with one touch, looking for the follow-up, and he gets a nice pop. Trots now has an option, but didn't want to play too risky of a pass. Arc B-Ball was waiting for that, as he still gets the beats and the demo. Kaysen's shot gets saved away. Sprinkle now looking for the shot himself. Trots able to make the save, and now DJD with 0 boost, able to get a good 50. That ball bouncing, and Arc B-Ball unfortunately double touches it, but Kaysen's still able to put a good shot on target, and this is what Distortion's so good at. They just have so much pressure. They're still putting on these shots. They're not the most high quality shots, but if you make a mistake, they will punish you for it. A good beat there from Kaysen. Trots able to get a nice touch, though, able to get a follow-up. Arc B-Ball barely able to get a touch on that one. Dalen with a good 50. DJD with a nice pass mid. Arc's touch beautifully past the Galaxy player, so no shot can come through. Sprinkle with 0 boost, still able to get that ball cleared, and DJD taking his time, looking for a pass over to Dalen. Dalen popping it back to DJD. DJD looking for the pass down to Dalen. The passes are there. Trust, you have the follow. Guiding his time, but the shot just couldn't come through. Too many Distortion defenders in the way, but I'm like what I'm seeing out of Galaxy. They're taking their time, they're trying to find each other once again, and this is how they were winning in that first game, and honestly competing really well in that second game.
Yeah, I mean, that was a great pass on play. I was really hoping they were going to be able to get through that Distortion defense, but Distortion held strong. They didn't really panic. They've been making great clears and kind of diffusing this Galaxy pressure very quickly. We haven't seen Galaxy really lock them into their half for very long. They've had great cuts in the midfield. Arc B-Ball looking for a 1v1 opportunity bash Trots, but the follow is not going to be able to be a shot. But Galaxy looking a lot cleaner. They're not making any really glaring mistakes until, you know, it obviously happens. That's kind of how that works. But Galaxy playing cleaner. They're playing more cohesive. They're looking better. I mean, it's the sole reason that it's 0-0 right now. Distortion have had a couple good opportunities, and because Galaxy is playing better and they're not as panicky, they are much better off, especially on the defensive side of the ball, as we see that they've already had to have 4 saves, but they've seemed pretty easy so far.
Yeah, and still, you know, 3 saves on the side of the Distortion, so they're still putting up good offense as well, as a huge shot comes out. Arc B-Ball racing back, able to make the save to his own corner, but this could be an opportunity. DDD's touch, not what he was really looking for, as Kaysen is going to have a clear off of Dalen's touch there. Trots off the sidewall. Going to be a Sprinkle winning that challenge out on Dalen. DJD in the corner. Arc B-Ball wins that 50. Kaysen gets a beat on one. Kaysen maybe looking for the awkward angle, but Dalen had that good challenge. Sprinkle trying to continue the pressure here. Not a lot of boost to work with. Going to leave it for Kaysen towards the corner. Trots going to be there. Gets demoed, but does get the 50 before his passing. Now Dalen not gonna touch as Arc B-Ball hangs that one off the back wall. Kaysen off the corner. Dalen gonna be there to get that ball instead of Sprinkle. But now Sprinkle has control. Sprinkle looking for the pass to Arc. Arc gonna get saved. His shot saved away. DJD now looking for the counter. DJD going straight towards the ground, though. Kaysen had that bluff red all the way through. Arc B-Ball off the corner. Arc B-Ball not going to get the follow-up touch. Trots with the long clear. DJD and Sprinkle 1v1. The Sprinkle dunk does not come through. Dalen popping that ball up high for Trots, but it's going to be Kaysen getting that ball clear. Arc B-Ball is going to be there. Arc B-Ball did not get there before Trots had the 50. Trots now, Dalen now Maybe looking for a pass, but an instant challenge for RP iTrot's a little awkward, has to clear that one towards his own corner. Able to get the double, preventing a free, easy shot. DJD with a nice pop out. iTrot's with a nice touch. Kaysen not backflipping that time. Able to make the save. A huge demo from Sprinkle, but it does throw his touch off just a little bit. DJD now off the backboard. Arc B-Ball, though, able to make the save, and a 0-0 overtime looks probable. iTrot's has to make the save, and he does. Able to make the clear as well. Casey's touch really bad for Distortion here. Galaxy looking for the pass mid. Oh, and it gets cut off. iTrot's maybe keeping this ball alive. Galen sends it to the ground, says, no, we're going to overtime. This is where we can win this game 4. Send it to game 5. It's forbidden temple. Anything can happen, including a kickoff goal. Our people, it's gonna be him! Sending his team towards the Gravelords here, making them the 8th seed. The 10th seed does it once again. Arc people. What a play, what a player, what a story, and what a goal here to finish off our play in tournament.
Yeah, and it's almost fitting that every single 10 seed was able to win and get into the playoffs. They now Distortion now becomes the 8th seed, as they are going to take on that juggernaut of Gravelords. I mean, we'll see what happens. Obviously, Distortion played pretty well, but you know, it's a different beast. It's a different tier of team that you're going to go up against in the regular playoffs. You're not necessarily as close seeding wise as your other counterparts. And you know, I really wish them luck. I really wish I could say that I think they're going to take it, but I don't think they're going to take it.
Yeah, no, specifically Gravelords. They are 18-0. They are undefeated. However, you know, this Distortion team I think is really talented. Shout out Arc Beatball. That's my goat. I'm so glad he made playoffs. I'm really happy that he was able to make it, and I think Galaxy, they put up their best effort, and honestly, you know, they are a team that you just never knew what to expect out of them, right? And so that's what just made them so dangerous. But in the end, honestly, some veterans like Sprinkle and Kaysen just kind of showing up, and Arc B-Ball able to put the game or the series winner away is just what you love to see. And once again, just absolute great games here from the play-in tournament. But guys, this is just the start of the postseason here. We have the playoffs coming up next, and that is going to start Monday next week. So stick around, come back, stay tuned, all of the above, because we have so much left in store. Shout out to our premium subscribers, and as well shout out to Jax, as I saw he gifted 5 subs earlier, and shout out to Rockerman for gifting 10 subs as well. Thank you guys so much for the support. Everyone, stay tuned for the playoffs as we get, I mean, you've got your playoff game, I got my playoff game next week. Like, everything is going down next week, Ventus, and I'm ready for it, man.
Yeah, I think it's going to be an absolute blast. I think that everybody's super pumped and anticipating for it. You're going to have so many more upsets, so many more great games. I mean, we saw 2 overtimes in this one, and it didn't even go to game 5. Like, that is, I mean, amazing. It's such close series between these teams. It's really going to differentiate who's the best out of the entire leagues. You know, you have the 1 seeds, you could have the 10 seed of like Motion coming in and upsetting. You really don't know what to expect, and I think that's part of the fun of it. I think getting to watch as a community, and obviously, you know, getting to watch the casters cast and put on an absolute show for you guys is probably pretty fun too, right?
Yeah, absolutely. But that's going to do it for us here. And so thank you guys so much for sticking around. But we will see you guys next Monday starting at, I don't even know what time. I believe 7. See you guys then. Deuces.